Well, welcome back. Ahmed Akanbi joins us now. He's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
Well, lots of comments made and reactions too, I should add that, from people who have seen the interview with the SSG to Borno State government about what they're doing or what actually transpired concerning the abductor schoolgirls. Perhaps you also listened to that and heard some previous comments before he came on today. What's your impression?
Well, my view is that it so seems that when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. There's a complete lack of, there's a complete distrust between the federal government on the one hand and the Borno State government. And so long as this does exist, it will be extremely difficult for us to combat the insurgency. There's a Latin phrase which says, in unity there's victory. And as long as they keep speaking with different voices for reasons that may not be too obvious to us, Boko Haram will continue to exist.
I see a lot of people picking up on part of what the ambassador said concerning why they allowed the exams go on when there was no security or correspondence from security agencies, or the police specifically, that they were going to provide that security. What do you think?
For me, it's neither here nor there. And the blame game has to stop at some point. As a letter originated from WAEC to the Borno State government in turn wrote to the Commissioner of Police. If WAEC knew, if we had to extend the blame further, if WAEC knew that Chibok wasn't safe and they needed security, why did they go ahead to conduct the exams? They might as well held back on the conduct of that exam. And for me, the blame game just keeps going on and on. At which point will this blame stop?
You know, let him just drop this in, because part of the reasons why we look at some of these matters while everyone is involved in trying to see that they can rescue the girls alive is that those who are in charge of this need to look back and say, listen, where did we make mistakes in order for this not to happen again?
Then if we have to look back, Chamberlain, we have to look back all through. If somebody tells me to go and conduct an assignment, and I know that place is not safe, and I don't have any written documentation to say that, to guarantee my safety, why would I go there? I won't go there.
You mean for the students,
starting
the government?
From WAEC. Starting from WAEC. The students are in school to write WAEC exams. If WAEC knew that the Borno State governor had faltered in his duties, I mean, there's nothing that compels them to go ahead with that exam.
So the Borno State governor could have glossed over it and then leave it up to WAEC to take that decision?
We're talking of lives here. Somebody tells you to go somewhere, and you're asking that person to guarantee your safety, to guarantee your life. And there's nothing to show that those things have been put in place, and you go ahead and conduct that exam. It shows you probably don't value your life. I'm saying that if we are to look back, we must go through the whole hog, from the federal government to the Borno State government down to WAEC. If WAEC had refrained from conducting that exam, perhaps those girls will be with their parents. So we have to look, I mean, we need to adopt a holistic picture.
But what do you make of this entire crisis? Because right now you have pointed out something which is pretty obvious, the fact that it would seem that two elephants are fighting. We just saw a promo now, even though that has absolutely no bearing to this program. It's supposed to be an independent advert. But with adverts like that, you know, insinuations that this is all about 2015, what hope is there for this grass?
I listened to the news yesterday. The first news item on channels was the interview by the Minister of Information. And the next news item was that by the Chief of Defense Staff. The Minister of Information says on one hand that the opposition is responsible for the insurgency. So soon after, the CDS comes and says Al-Qaeda is responsible for this insurgency. Whom do we believe? Whom do we listen to? Is the government coordinated at all? You have different functionaries of government giving different excuses for this insurgency. And the minister comes and says, it is the opposition, 90% that have infiltrated the Bring Back the Girls campaign. I ask him, is Mariam Uwais a member of the opposition? Is Obi Ezekwesili a member of the opposition? Is Femi Falana, who is their legal counsel, a member of the opposition? Is Adiza Bala Usman a member of the opposition? Is Joe Odumakin a member of the opposition? All the celebrities, the music stars, the Nollywood stars that have come out in support of this campaign, are they a member of the opposition? I mean, it is insulting, and it is unfair on Nigerians for public officials to come forth in the public space and make outlandish statements. And we're being made to believe that the governors of those states where we have these insurgencies are responsible for the insurgency. I ask myself, if I have an enemy to fight, won't I go to his house and fight him? Why would I fight myself within my own house? And if you, let's even assuming without conceding that, okay, it's even the opposition. Have you made any arrest? You probably have information that we don't have.
I've got a comment from Osa here. He says, WIAC held the exams because they received assurances from the Borno government that security will be provided.
They received assurances that security will be provided. As far as I'm concerned, it's a process. You have to take the papers there. Did you see any soldiers in sight? Did you see any police in sight? Did you see any of the security agents or agencies? Did you see any of them in sight? And you still went ahead and put the lives of those girls at risk. I'm not trying to, in all this, all parties are culpable, as far as I'm concerned. But the question is, who owes the greater duty of care in the scheme of things?
Is that what it comes down to?
If Boko Haram takes over the whole of Nigeria, who takes the blame? It's the president. If you feel that there are people, and if you know people behind these insurgents, get them arrested and let them face the wrath of the law.
But what hope is there? Because, I mean, whether or not we like it, the year 2015 will come. We've been told today by the president that our democracy is under threat. As much as possible, I want to believe that the president has also said that elections will go on in 2015 as planned. It will mean that we're going to be seeing more of campaigns and more of, electioneering towards that particular period. The question is, what hope is there for this grass?
For this grass?
Yes.
I can tell you one thing, Maku. God willing, there will be elections in 2015. God willing, there will be elections in 2015. My take is that I'm not in government, I'm not a leader. Maybe in my house I'm a leader. People have to own up. People have to perform their duties. People have to take on responsibilities. All this blame game won't help us in any way. Whoever is behind all this, not still wait till 2015 or till the next administration before the government acts against whoever is beyond all this. If the president comes out today, or the Minister of Information comes out today, and mentions names with concrete proofs, Nigerians will queue behind them. But you can't come out in the public space and make bare statements devoid of any factual basis. And that is what we are saying. People should stand up to their duties. You can't be commander-in-chief from the rear. I look up to my president for leadership. I look up to him for succor. I look up to him for protection. With due deference to that office, as far as I'm concerned,
Did you, sorry to interrupt you, did you listen to the president's speech this morning?
Yes, I did. A part of it. I was in traffic.
The part that you listened to, did it offer you that need, that succor that you seek for?
He spoke about the efforts of the government in fighting insurgents. But when the president moves in a particular direction, and officials working under him move in an opposite direction, whom do you believe? Whom do you believe? Nigerians need to hear things that are credible, things that are cogent. We don't need to be we don't want to hear different, we don't want to listen to different sources of information, saying different things at the same time.
Yeah, but do you expect the military to be talking about what goes on in politics?
Sorry?
Was it that you expected military to be speaking up about developments in politics? Because you were saying that the military says, look, we're dealing with an Al-Qaeda situation, and then the military, and then the minister says something completely different, talking about politics, and they're both speaking about what in their line of duty.
It is better for the military not to speak.
Really?
Yeah, there should be
but
some...
Nigerians have been telling the military to give us information.
There should be some channel. The military is under the president. He's the commander-in-chief. Whatever information they have should be passed to the executive.
So the executive should speak up on this?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
But there's a joint information center about this, and they've been speaking about
then
this.
Then why would the chief of defense staff... No, he may not speak directly. He may speak through his aides. But the question I ask is that, why would the chief of defense staff... I mean, he's faltered on so many scores. The first time, he came out and said the insurgency will end by April. The other time, they came out to say that they had rescued the girls, wearing it as a badge of honor. We later found it to be false.
The information they gave out was the one provided to them by Borno State government, they said.
Don't they have their own intelligence service? The Nigerian military is exceptional. They have their intelligence service.
So why would the state mislead them in the first place?
I wouldn't know. But the question is...
You're not picking up on
that.
No.
Let me answer you, Chamberlain. Somebody comes. I'm responsible for the lives and properties of people. Gives me an information. Shouldn't there be an independent way of confirming that information? We are talking of the military. We are not just talking of any agency. The other time they came out and said, we know where the girls are. I mean, that's a loose statement to make.
So he shouldn't have said it?
Oh, obviously.
So those who are requesting that they give us information on a daily basis, that doesn't matter?
The information you can give relating to operational issues. Okay, you've deployed 20,000 soldiers to Chibok. You've deployed so-and-so equipment to Chibok. And that is why they all seem to be confused.
All right. Ahmed Akanbi is a legal practitioner. We do thank you very much, even for holding on while we held on, questioning the Borno SSG. Thank you again for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be back.